Hey buddies, we're coming right out now from Spider-Man Homecoming. I know we watched a little bit late, but we were doing some things when it was released, but we just saw it, and Becky actually is like strictly adhering to not letting me know any opinion before we leave. I even asked her in there, oh, you like it?
I couldn't tell you.
Alright, do you like it?
It was a movie.
Oh!
No, I really like it.
Okay, I can never, like, she's trying to be unpredictable now.
It was so good.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It was nice and refreshing, I feel like, to see something from Marvel. I mean, the Marvel movies haven't been super serious, but at the same time, it's nice to see something that, like...
They're all, like, super duper action-y.
Well, this was action-y,
Yeah,
but
yes.
this had a different tone to it that I appreciated because Spider-Man is a kid, and he sucks, and he's not got it together. He's not quite with it. Like, I mean, which other ones do they have? They have, like, Captain America's got it all together. Thor has it all together, kind of, like Hulk, and then you have Iron Man obviously has it all together. So it's nice to see a hero Captain America? What?
Well, we haven't seen.
Oh.
We haven't seen.
Yeah, so one thing to know first going into this review, we haven't seen Civil War or Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
People told us going to this that we might need to. I think I know why, and that's when the movie opens, you get to see like some stuff from the other side
Actually, that's from Avengers.
Yeah, well, okay.
So we knew that.
Then,
when,
alright.
shit
Well,
goes
whatever,
down.
anyways. So
I couldn't tell you what we missed, but...
Okay, anyways, it didn't matter to me but I mean, I do want to see the Captain America films. Especially since Captain America had some pretty good cameos in this, which were interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I want to get one thing out of the way first. The kid, the guy who plays him, is not a kid. And I feel like that was the one thing that, like, even though I thought he was good and he did a good job, he says in it he's a 15.
Oh yeah, he's super not 15.
The actor is 21.
Yeah.
And
so he was probably like 20 when they filmed it.
20 or 19 at the youngest.
Yeah.
And I feel like throughout he puts on this like, oh boy, yeah, I'm just doing my best, like sort of voice, and it gets a little bit grating.
Yeah.
So that's just a nitpick to get out of the way right off the bat, because it did.
I was thinking that too, like, so not. Oh, sorry, he's 16. But
Yeah.
he's so not. Like,
No, he said 15.
No.
Because Tony Stark says you're a 14-year-old kid, and he says 15. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways, I can get the muscly
that
body,
issue.
that's fine, whatever. He's Spider-Man, he gets a muscly body because he became Spider-Man. But anyways, what I did like about it was that it adhered to the... I can't?
No, not in mall. It's private property.
Okay.
Really?
Alright. I'm just videotaping myself. Alright, so we're not allowed to film in the mall, so we're outside now because we don't want to bother the super important security guard. The one thing I wanted to talk about, since the last Spider-Man that I saw was Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, that I thought was fucking terrible in terms of CG. There was one particular scene in which Dr. Octopus, or whatever the fuck he is, grabs Mary Jane and her dress just looks like a piece of plastic. And I was like, and then that was like a hallmark for the rest of the thing. Like, that was the keystone element. And then I could see nothing but CG for the rest of the film. I was looking in this all because of the legacy that Spider-Man has left behind for me, and I didn't see anything that really bothered me too much. But I did feel like he moved a little weird sometimes. Like, you have to expect Spider-Man throughout this thing is 90% himself CG. He's an animated character running around.
Right.
The guy in the suit, it probably appears only about 10% of the time, the actual actor or stuntman or whatever.
Yeah.
So there were a couple elements where I felt like there was a point where he was climbing the boat that felt a little weird the way he flew. The part where he actually wingsuits onto the boat looked a little weird. It was actually everything that revolved around the boat. There was a few weird elements to the way he moved, in my opinion.
Huh, I didn't notice that.
So we've got the nitpicks out of the way. Then we'll just move on to go back to the actor, the main actor. Despite outside of him being weird
15.
to be acting as a fucking 15-year-old. Well, let's just talk about how cool it would have been if they had gotten a 15-year-old kid. Like, a 15-year-old superhero would have been fucking awesome, I think. and I wish they had gone for
They
that.
never do that in
I thought it
movies
would.
and
I think it
TV,
could have been
though.
amazing had they done that. But whatever. He does a good job given the task he's given, which is a man acting as a early teenager.
Yeah.
I think he did a good job. He was likable. The character was written well. I mean, that is what is likable about Spider-Man. He's the every person superhero. He's the
Yeah.
guy who's making it up as he goes along.
Yep.
He's almost there, like with his quips and his little jokes that he makes along the way. He's almost like their Deadpool, which is funny
yeah.
because Deadpool, I've heard through his comics, is a huge Spider-Man fan.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, he's the
No
like
way.
Deadpool crosses the purposefully breaks the fourth wall and talks about Marvel superheroes and he loves Spider-Man,
That's
which is
cool.
what everybody's thinking is if there ever would be a crossover between Marvel and DC movies, that is a potential that those two could meet in the future, which would
Yeah.
be amazing.
That would be fun. Oh my god.
What'd you think of? I guess the other major character to talk about is what's his name?
Michael Keaton?
Michael Keaton. What'd you think of
Vulture?
him?
Oh my god, I was so excited whenever I first saw him on the screen. I was
Mhm.
like, why is Michael Keaton here? Because we haven't seen, or I forgot. I don't know. I just.
He has
totally
nothing to do with
forgot.
the other films.
Okay.
You just forgot. You didn't see him in the trailer. You forgot him in the trailer
Yeah, I guess.
because
so.
he was in the trailer. So he
I love
plays
him. He's so good.
the Hawk or something. I don't know what
Vulture.
the Vulture. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's actually we can't compare it. We don't. I can't tell you anything about the treatment of Vulture because I never read the comics and I've
Yeah.
never known that the Vulture was even a thing.
Uh-huh.
He apparently was. I don't know whether they did it well or not. But as far as Keaton goes, Keaton is Keaton. He seems to. I didn't see Birdman, but we recently watched the McDonald's film, and he's kind of got one method to his acting now.
Oh, yeah.
He's like Keaton is Keaton, and it's
Yeah.
for
but
me.
he's a good bad guy.
I think he was very terrifying at points,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's hard for me to forget that I'm watching Michael Keaton
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's just so Michael Keaton.
Like
It's
when he smiles, I'm just like,
you
you're
can't.
Beetlejuice. You're
Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
you
That's
can't
a
get your
Beetlejuice
head
smile.
past that fact. I thought
Yeah.
so.
I was totally cool with that though.
But it was, yeah, it's not like it was a super serious movie that I needed to lose myself in it. But I did feel myself getting broken out of that a few times, like just being like, yeah, it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
He's being Beetlejuice right now.
Yeah.
But
I was cool with
and then the rest of the cast was great. I thought
Marissa
that
Tomei.
Marissa Tomei was in
love
it, and she's doing well. I can't remember the last thing we saw her
My cousin
in, but
Vinny.
we saw her in. She's been doing a lot. Oh, she was in that film, The Boxer, or something like that, which she was really good.
yeah.
She's been in a few things, and she's good. The Friend was
Ned.
yeah, well placed. I think it was well done. Maybe a little thick at some points in
Yeah,
terms
but
of
I liked it. It's a
they-
teenage movie.
It was, yeah, definitely, and I think they did well with him. I especially liked when Spider-Man. Well, I don't want to. We won't. That's kind of spoilery. As usual with our reviews, we'll
Okay.
get more spoilery as we go. The girl, the love interest was good,
Liz.
but I mean, there really aren't any other characters. There's basically him and Michael Keaton and the friend, the mom, and that's
No,
about
Aunt
it.
May.
Not many people that. Oh yeah, Aunt May. But not many other people have any speaking
Happy.
roles or anything like that.
Happy was cool.
Happy
It was cool
and
to see him.
yeah,
in it.
okay, and Tony, like whatever, they have small roles, but like yeah, it's kind of a small cast, and you can tell that compared to like the other Avengers movies and the flagship films, you can tell this was done on a budget. Like the relative
what it
to
was,
those
yeah.
films, there's way less action, and not necessarily in a bad way,
Yeah.
but like so. All right, we're gonna move into the plot. Slow spoiler territory, but it's
Can
not
I
really a movie
first-
that can be spoiled very well.
Can I first say one thing? Also at the beginning, so it had like the opening sequence, and then I went into like the animation for the title, and I loved how they reprised the 1960s Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, they had
for it.
they had like a little inflection of it in there with like
Yeah.
orchestral music.
Did you watch the 1960s?
I did.
Spider-Man
I
one?
saw the cartoon or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody smells like booze. I think it's them. There's two teenagers over there like drinking booze, and they must be on a bender because like they smell like booze. They're just teenagers. All right. Anyways, the other. Oh yeah. So I wanted to move into the plot, and well, this is kind of plot-ish. Like just his first experiences as Spider-Man. It was first of all kind of refreshing to jump in where a superhero wasn't discovering his powers for the first time. And that's usually what Spider-Man has been all about, is like the first time that you realize that he becomes Spider-Man, then you get to watch him try out his abilities for the first time, and that's usually been the charm to Spider-Man, is a kid becoming a superhero as he goes. But this time we're kind of like late to the game. He's already tried out all his powers. He's even met the Avengers and everything like that. And again, did we see those scenes? Were they in the... Okay. So for us, it was especially interesting because it felt like we were like late to the party, but it was also interesting seeing it from that perspective.
I thought it was okay seeing it like this.
Yeah. I also liked watching him suck really badly, like at being a superhero, being clumsy, and like the scenes with him just trying to solve small crimes in the city by himself is nice. It kind of had feelings of Kick-Ass to it, I thought. Like, and then of course when he goes to the house party and has to make his way through suburbia, and just like falling across like lawns and stuff, and when he scares the little girls. All these little scenes that gave this film a lot of personality, I thought were well placed and refreshing, again, like for a superhero film. As refreshing as like Deadpool was, except, you know, less callous and crass and adult oriented.
I thought it was interesting. There's one point where he's trying to shoot his web, but he's in the middle of a golf course, and so there's nothing there.
And he realizes he can't traverse suburbia like he can in the city.
He just runs. But I thought it was interesting because in the trailer he says like something about where's the skyscrapers when you need them or something.
Oh yeah.
But
so
I liked that they didn't do it.
They had alternate lines or something.
Yeah. He was just like, shit.
Yeah, so I thought that they kind of like, the action was well dispersed throughout the film, and it was well paced.
It flowed nicely.
It flowed nicely, whereas I felt like a few superhero films, especially the last Avengers, the last Avengers we saw was the one with like everybody...
Age of Ultron?
Yeah, the Age of Ultron. That was like so action heavy, it was almost nauseating. This had just the right amount of action, but it didn't have so little or so concentrated in areas that like you got bored or anything like that. It was just like well paced, a little bit of story building, a little bit of action, a little bit of story building, a little bit of action. I enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, me too.
I loved the suit and the idea of having a sexy suit that you wear that talks to you.
Yeah.
That like alone is gonna give teenage boys everywhere like some fetishes that they never knew they had.
I want a Karen.
I guarantee. Yeah, Karen would be nice to have. Like when she's complimenting, she's like, your impressions are very funny. And like, the humor was well done. I'm very critical of humor. It takes a lot to make me even chuckle at a theater.
Yeah.
Where the basically antithesis of how easy it is to make me cry at the theater. The opposite of that.
Yep.
It's easy for me to get the waterworks out, but for me to chuckle even, it takes a lot. And this film had me chuckle quite a few times, even at some lame jokes.
Yeah, there was that one lame joke about the hat.
Yeah.
That Ned made.
Well, that was
like,
good.
Oh,
yeah, that was.
cute.
It gives me confidence. I like this hat.
Yes.
It gives me confidence. Well, what's so endearing about Ned as a character is that he's so secure in what he is.
Yeah.
He and that made for a good character. He wasn't just a typical geek loser.
Yeah.
Even though he had some stereotypes about him, he was good because he was like accepting of it. So he was a confident geek, and that was refreshing, I thought, as the archetype, sort of a spin on the archetype.
Not working.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not working. And I was looking up porn.
Yeah.
He was well done, and how like obviously these films always are. They do well when they add a character that is the audience, basically, and he's able to ask all these questions of Spider-Man.
Yeah, totally.
Basically being a fan within the film was well done. Speaking of which, of awkward and like geeky characters, the character who we find out, we're getting now into spoilers, so move on unless you've seen it. But we recommend it, go check it out. It's a fun film, especially for a summer popcorn film. Fun movie, especially if you go on a cheap Tuesday, which is coming up. I would definitely recommend it.
I concur.
All right, so the girl that's awkward and like the alternative, like, you know, sort of antisocial girl we find out towards the end, at the end, is Mary Jane. Because the love interest is actually Liz, which is not Mary Jane. So MJ, we find out, is the one who's like, seems to have a crush on Peter at the end. She was an interesting archetype that they included. Yeah, that was pretty good. I liked her there. She's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Mary Jane played by a character that's not... Mary Jane was, as a character, always kind of... I don't know what her personality was.
Wasn't she just wholesome?
Was she? she came from a working class family, I know, and that like really cared about her dad and stuff, and like I don't remember what kind of character she was supposed to be. But anyways, this is definitely different, whatever they're doing here. So in the future films, I imagine she's going to have a major role, and it should be interesting to see how that character grows. Other things, okay, so going on to the other thing, I guess we'll just talk, since we're in spoiler territory now, we can say the major twist of the film was actually a good twist.
It was.
And it wasn't just a twist that's like, goes like, there's the twist, and it's like, deal with it now, that's the new reality or whatever.
Yeah.
This was a twist that actually like, sort of had repercussions on the characters that went beyond just the superhero realm. Like it goes into like his relationship with Liz that he wants to have a relationship with. It's just like, so as soon as you realize this moment, you're thinking, well, on one hand, how does he deal with this as Spider-Man? But on the other hand, how is he ever going to reconcile this with his desire to be in a relationship with Liz? So that was good. I thought that was a good twist, well played.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I liked it. And it especially allowed you to see the two of them interact in a setting. It was a great excuse to have the two of them interact without their masks in a very, like, I mean, it was genius really to have like that teen kid gulping moment with a dad combined with the Nemesis moment.
Yeah.
That was well done. Speaking of Nemesis, we find out towards the end that maybe they're not going to be Nemesis. It sounds like maybe Vulture will be on his side.
I don't think so.
You think he's not? You think he actually wants to kill him himself?
Yeah, I think they were like, you saved my daughter, I'll save you. He saved him. He saved Vulture, so Vulture saved him. I think.
So now they're
that
even?
Was even, yeah. Even
so
in the
now
scores,
he can go kill him?
Yeah. That's
Interesting.
What I thought.
That is interesting. Yeah, okay, I can see how that works. Yeah, that's true. Tit for tat with him. Maybe he still does, because he does seem to be a guy with anger issues and a chip on his shoulder, for sure. So that could be a thing that continues. Though I would rather them put the character to rest. I don't think I could watch Keaton again in the role. I don't think I could watch.
That it would be good
like,
to do something else.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think they will. Yeah, but as far as how it ties to the Avengers movies, it does get me excited about Avengers again.
Yeah.
I think I was a little Avengers out after the last film, and it's probably why we stay. I know that's not absolutely Avengers, but I think I was a little bit superheroed out after Age of Ultron, and that's why we stayed away. I think kind of didn't have a huge amount of eagerness to go to Captain America and stuff like that, which I think came out after. I don't fucking know, but that's how I remember it. Not a lot to say though about the film, because it was just kind of like a silly, fun little romp film. Not a super deep one, not a hugely complicated plot or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it was all about, I guess, the characters and their interactions and humanizing some of the characters, the superheroes.
Yeah.
I liked him, like, the scene with him fighting against the Avengers was well played. It was definitely, like, he's a cocky, sprightly, like, you know, less serious superhero, and they played it very well. Yeah, it's enjoyable. Anything else? I don't know how to do reviews. We did the CG. We talked about all the actors and all the actresses.
Oh, well, I guess one thing that's kind of interesting is how they didn't go over the whole origin story, like he was bit by a spider, his Uncle Ben died.
Well, yeah, I talked about being dropped into the party late, like compared to all the previous Avengers. Spider-Man. Like, we're 2 reboots away, removed.
Yeah, like I didn't see any of the Garfield ones.
Yeah, none of the Garfield ones, which I also hear were...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I've heard. It's a beleaguered franchise, Spider-Man, and I'm hoping this really reinvigorates it.
I think that it was really cool how they did like a whole bunch of, like, I think it's a good teenage movie.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good teenage movie for 15-year-olds to go to and feel like, oh man, I really don't have that body. Mommy, why did I not look like that? You're 15, you shouldn't be calling me mommy anymore, first of all. Mommy, my body doesn't look like his. Give me the bitty, mommy.
Awkward.
So yeah, it was fun, and I think the CG was pretty good. It was a good ride, and that's the important thing for me, is to enjoy what I see on the screen. Because if I'm gonna pay to go to the theater, it better look good. And it looked pretty good. It was fun, and it made me laugh.
Oh, there's a little girl walking out. there's like a summer camp or something behind us, and this little girl walked out, and her 2 friends were coming up, and she goes,
She did the old.
she was like super into me. She thought it was pretty good. Oh, there's the stuff at the end too.
Oh, the friggin' yeah, the extra stuff at the end was good. Mainly the Captain America's appearance.
Yeah,
At
wait
the
till
end.
the
What was the first thing
very
at the end?
I think it was when Vulture met.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
boss,
that
right?
extra little bit.
Boss.
But yeah,
He's the only boss to me. I don't know.
Captain America showing up at the end and making fun of the audience was good.
Yeah,
The whole
dude.
Captain America cameos was
Oh man,
brilliant.
so solid.
So you're in detention. It's amazing. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Now we're gonna go see Valerian, Luc Besson movie, and we'll give you another thing on that as soon as we're out of there. Goodbye.